We'll start at the top of the mat. And just bring your feet about sit bone distance apart. Hands at your heart. You can close your eyes or open them, just depending on how you can stay more focused. And just start connecting to your breathing, Ujjayi breathing. Remember that as you inhale, you want to allow your outer body to soften and receive the breath. As you exhale, you're engaging the muscles closest to your spine, the muscles in between your ribs and the lower abdomen, so that you feel this feeling of hugging the entire spine every time you exhale. Once you're completely empty, take another in-breath. Make sure that you feel the breath moving down into the lower lobes of the lungs. Feel the diaphragm descending toward the pelvis. Feel that feeling of fullness in the lower belly and the lower back. And then again, once you feel full, exhale and start to engage, contract, pull the outer body toward the inner body and pull the inner body toward the spine. Once you feel completely empty, begin again. Go ahead and bring your arms down alongside your torso and just take 3 more breaths like that. Start to activate your legs a little more, rooting down into the floor. Reach your arms more deliberately toward the earth as well, pulling the shoulders away from your ears. Draw the crown of your head up toward the sky. Finding a feeling of dynamic engagement, whether you're inhaling or exhaling in your body. So the whole body starts to feel a little more alive and engaged and activated. Good, and then open your eyes if they're not open already. Sweep the arms overhead and take a long inhale. As you exhale, just bring your hands down to your thighs. Round your back, engage your abdominals, and bring your chin into the soft part of the throat. Inhale, draw the pelvis back, reach your ribs forward. Exhale, round the back, tuck your chin toward the soft part of the throat. Sit bones are moving towards your knees. One more time, inhale, breathe your ribs down towards your thighs. And exhale, round the back, empty out the belly. Keep exhaling as you roll all the way up. Then inhale your arms up to the sky. And exhale, bring the hands to the heart and the navel back toward the spine. Again, inhale, sweep the arms overhead. This time, exhale, you're going to sweep the arms out to the side, bend your knees a lot, and place your ribs onto your thighs. Then the arms are going to come up toward the ceiling as your crown draws down. Keep your knees bent here. On your inhale, sweep the arms out to the side and back up like we're moving into Utkatasana. Exhale, place your ribs onto your thighs. Sweep the arms up toward the sky as the crown draws down. Again, out to the side and up as you inhale. Stay seated. Start to cook those legs a bit. Exhale, sweep the arms out and up as the crown draws down. Good, bring your hands to the thighs. Roll up slowly on your next exhalation. Inhale, arms rising, chest opening toward the heavens a bit. And exhale, bring the hands back to the heart, navel back to spine. Make sure that you're feeling that feeling of engagement as you exhale. Good. This time we're going to take a swan dive. Sweep the arms up. Exhale, pull your body weight forward, keeping your hips over your heels as you slowly move into this forward fold. Once your hands are on the ground and bend your knees enough to bring your hands to the ground, take an inhale and extend the spine. You may need to bend your knees a little bit more there to truly extend. Exhale, fold, draw your crown towards your toes. Inhale, extend. And exhale to fold. Make sure your quadriceps are strong and your abs are working. One more time, inhale, breathe more length into your spine. Exhale, pull the ribs in closer, draw the crown of your head down. Root down through both feet and let's rise again, reversing that swan dive. Inhale, sweep the arms up, maybe take a little back bend here. Exhale, hands to heart. Feel that internal engagement. Let's move on now to A series. Sweeping up, open up the chest. As you exhale, we're going to dive forward, bringing the hands all the way down. Again, taking your time with this, making sure that the hips are not hinging back behind your heels. Inhale, undulate the spine forward, plant your palms, jump back or walk back to a high push-up. And then stay here, take a strong exhalation, pushing back through the heels, engaging your quads and engaging your abs. Inhale into the back of your body. As you exhale, we're going to move forward onto the tips of the toes almost, so that as we move into chaturanga, the elbows stay over the wrists, and then lower all the way down to the belly. Touch your forehead to the ground, lift the front of the shoulders up and pull the elbows toward the back wall. Then take an inhale to lift your rib cage up for Bhujangasana, low cobra. As you exhale, lower it slowly back down, lowering your lower ribs first, and then your chest, and then your forehead. Keep the front of the shoulders rising, elbows drawing back. Inhale, breathe your rib cage off the floor. And exhale, traction your ribs forward as you bring them back down, just as slowly as we did on the in-breath. One more time, inhale, breathe your rib cage up. Your head is not leading, it's following your torso off the floor. As you exhale again, you're going to telescope the ribs forward, pull the elbows back, keep the shoulder heads rising and spreading away from each other. And finally, your forehead will touch down. Push up on inhale to hands and knees, extending the spine here. As you exhale, stand up onto the pads of your toes and move into downward facing dog. We're just going to walk the legs out here, bending one knee to bring the thigh close to the ribs or even touch the ribs, and then switch sides. Focus on bringing the right thigh to the right ribs, and then the left thigh to the left ribs a few times, moving slowly so that you can really feel that feeling of your core engaging even as you make this slight movement. Now, once you've taken 3 or 4 of those on each side, straighten out both legs, move into a deeper down dog. And once you're empty, jump forward or walk forward. Inhale when you land, extend the spine. Exhale, fold, draw the crown back down toward the ground. Root down, pull your body weight forward so that as you rise, your hips stay over your heels. When you're ready to take an inhale, sweep the arms overhead, maybe a back bend here. Exhale, hands to heart. Hug everything back to midline. Let's do that again. Inhale, let the arms rise. And exhale, pull forward. Your arms are reaching out to either side of the room. You're slowing down your dive with core strength. Inhale, undulation. Make sure that your neck, again, is following your torso forward. Plant your palms, jump back or walk back. Hold here, exhale, belly button in and up. Inhale, breathe deeply into the back. Exhale, lower slowly. Again, we're moving forward to come down with that integrity in the arms. This time, keep your forehead on the ground. Keep the shoulder heads rising, elbows drawing back. But as you inhale, you're going to lift your legs up. And then as you exhale, lower the legs, but pull them back as you're lowering. So in other words, we're going to try to reach the tips of the toes to the back wall. Inhale, breathe your thighs off the ground. Pull the toes back. Exhale, lower the legs, but pull them back as you're lowering. One more time, keep the fronts of the shoulders rising. Take an inhale, lift the toes off the ground, but pull them back. Pull them back. That's the most important part, not to try to get the legs high, but to make the legs feel longer. Exhale, keep reaching back as you lower the toes back down. Push up on your inhale to hands and knees. Extend the spine here. Stand up onto the pads of your toes. And again, exhale, downward facing dog. This time we're going to bend both knees deeply, bring both thighs to the ribs at the same time, and your pelvis is descending. And then straighten out both legs, root through the heels even more. See if you can lift your toes or at least spread them into the floor. Bend the knees again. Tilt the pelvis down toward the sit bones. Feel your core engaging, lower abs working. Exhale, heels down, toes up if possible. One more time, bending those knees. Knees and ribs touching if possible. Keep your abs really strong there. And then move into your downward facing dog. Stay here and take a full breath. Strong, long exhale. Once you're empty, jump forward or walk forward. And inhale, find that length. Exhale, fold, reach your crown towards your toes. Now we're going to root down. Pull your body weight forward so you're not rooting into the heels. Move more forward, feel your shin bones move forward. Reach your arms out, rise up slowly. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead, take an even deeper back bend. And exhale, remember that we're not passively exhaling here. Active exhale to empty out completely. One more time, reach up. Exhale, pull rib cage as far forward as possible until eventually you use your lower and inner core again to pull the rib cage as close to the thighs as possible. Inhale, breathe some length. Feel that length from your hips to your armpits on the sides of your torso as well. Plant the palms, jump back, hold here, exhale. Belly button draws in. Push back through the heels, feel your quads lift. Take another in-breath. Expand that in-breath into your upper back. Exhale, move forward onto the tips of your toes and lower to chaturanga. Again, all the way down to your belly. Lift the front of the shoulders and take the tops of your toes to the floor. Now we're going to inhale to lift the rib cage this time, just like we did on the first one. But as you exhale, lower your ribs and allow the legs to rise. Forehead touches down. Inhale, float the ribs up, lower the legs. Exhale, lower the ribs, allow the legs to float up. Keep reaching to touch the tips of your toes toward the wall behind you. One more time, inhale, the ribs float off the ground. Remember that your head is following your rib cage, not leading. And exhale, the ribs move down as the legs move up. Take one more inhale here. Exhale, pull the toes back and lower the legs down. Inhale, push up onto the hands and knees. Find your extension. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Right, for this down dog, we're going to stand up onto the pads of the toes as you inhale with the legs still straight. Exhale, swivel the hips over to the right. Feel your right obliques working there. Inhale, up onto the pads of the toes. Exhale, swivel the hips to the left. Feel the left side body engage. Inhale, heels up. Exhale, hips to the right. And exhale, your next exhale, your hips are moving to the left. Do that one more time on each side. Stay out of your shoulders as you move. So the shoulders are just stable here. But we are moving through the sacroiliac joints, massaging the sacrum. And then once you have taken those 3 rounds on each side, take that regular old down dog. Take a full breath in here. Strong, long exhale. Find Uddiyana Bandha if you know Uddiyana Bandha, right? Hollowing out the lower abdominal cavity. Jump forward or walk forward. When you land, that's when we inhale. Exhale, draw the crown toward the ground. Good, rooting down to the feet, rise up with reverse swan dive, sweeping your arms overhead. Good, exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach up again. This time we're going to dive to the side. So without mirroring me, and I guess you can if you want, but I'm going to just cue left arm down and right arm over your right ear. Your feet can be as far apart as possible. I mean, as you would like them to, or the feet can be all the way together, right? I like my feet sit bone distance apart. It doesn't change the pose, it'll just change the stability, right? It doesn't change the benefit, it just changes how stable you feel. So find your stable stance. Take a strong inhale into this right side. And a strong exhale from the left side to hug your left side in even more. Root down through both feet. Rise up on the next in-breath. Exhale over to your right. So you're going to bring your right arm down. Your left arm will reach over to the right side of the room. Now, I want you to shift your entire pelvis to the left, but don't point your hips over to the left. Your hip bones are still squared off. Think about reaching up first, like you're having to reach up and over an archway. And then allow your right arm to walk, or your right fingertips to walk a little closer to the right outer knee. Take an inhale into the left side of your torso, and one more exhale to reach further still. Rise up, inhale. Good, exhale, dive. Quads are active. Weight moves forward into the fronts of your feet as you dive. Inhale, extend. Plant your palms, jump back or walk back. This time, exhale right down into chaturanga. Inhale into upward facing dog, or continue to take a low cobra. Exhale, press back to downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your right leg up. Exhale, bring your right knee to your right elbow. Inhale, lift the right leg. Exhale, right knee to right elbow. Once again, inhale, lift. And exhale, bring it in. Step your right foot to the outside of your right hand and press your left heel flat. And then windmill the arms up into a warrior two. Make sure that your heels are basically lined up on the same line when we open to the side. Thigh bone, right thigh bone parallel to the floor to the best of your ability. Drag your heels isometrically toward each other to activate your inner thigh. And then make sure that at the same time, you're dialing your knees open so that you find both inner and outer spiral here. Take one final inhale in warrior two. Exhale, windmill those arms back down. Step your right foot back and lower slowly to chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, lift the left leg. Exhale, bring your left knee to your left elbow, hugging the left side body in. Again, inhale, lift. And exhale, bring it in. One more time, inhale. And exhale. Good, again, once you are truly empty, step your left foot to the outside of the left hand. Line up your right heel with your left heel. Windmill your arms and come up to a warrior two. Again, checking in to make sure your legs are rooted and activated. So we're not just allowing the pelvis to sink down, and we're not sinking our ribs into the pelvis. Instead, we're rooting down with both legs, both feet. Engage those inner thighs by dragging heels in, and engage your outer thighs by pulling knees open. Good, your hips are on the same line, your shoulders are on the same line. Keep rooting down to the inner edge of your left foot, the outer edge of your right foot. One last inhale here. Exhale, windmill the arms back down. Left leg will step back. Continue your exhale here and lower to chaturanga. Inhale to up dog. And exhale to downward facing dog. Please take 5 breaths here. And know that you can take a break when you need to. Please feel free to move in whatever way makes sense to you here, or just maintain a strong and open down dog. Breathing deeply, breathing into the space that this pose affords you. One final exhale. Draw the belly button in, jump or walk forward. Inhale, find the length. Exhale, fold. Root down, rise up. Take your inhale. Beautiful, good. Exhale, bring your hands back to your heart center. Inhale, sweep the arms up. We're going to take that side bend. Again, this time, clasp your hands, interlace your fingers, and reach your forefingers toward the ceiling. Both feet rooted. Exhale over to your left side. Shifting the pelvis over to the right. Again, your hip bones are still pointed forward, both of them. And both of your feet are actively rooting into the ground. If this is too much, you can always bring your left arm back down to the outside of the left thigh. Take another strong exhale and reach even further so that you're turning your right armpit up toward the ceiling. One more exhale to hug the left side in. Now push down with your legs, especially your right foot, to rise up here. Taking that inhale. Exhale as though you're reaching up and over an archway, reach to your right side. Shifting your pelvis to the left. Now notice how you can get all of your weight off of this right foot. I want you to keep pushing down with the right foot, even as you reach over to the right. Shift the pelvis to the left. Take an inhale to rotate your chest open a little more so that now your left armpit faces the ceiling. Take an inhale now into this left side body. Exhale, deepen your pose by hugging your right ribs towards your spine. Rise up on your inhale. And exhale, dive forward into our second B series, folding in. Inhale, extend your spine. Remember that your head is following the torso forward. Plant your palms, jump back or walk back. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, lift the right leg. And bring your knee in towards your forehead and your forehead towards your knee. Inhale, lift the right leg. And exhale, bring it in. One more time, inhale. And exhale. Step your right foot all the way through and press your back heel flat. Root down through both feet. Rise up for warrior one. Rooting down to the outer edge of your left foot and the inner edge of your right foot. Your heels are lined up with each respective hip on this one. So your left leg lines up with your left hip, right foot with right hip. And then we're working here to square off the hips maybe a little bit more without forcing it by dialing the right hip back rather than jamming the left hip forward. Take one final inhale in warrior one. And transfer your weight onto your right foot. Bring your left leg forward and cross your left knee over your right for eagle. Tuck your left toes back behind your right Achilles tendon and reach your arms out to either side of the room. Take a huge in-breath here. As you exhale, imagine that your hands, the backs of your hands are pushing into a wall behind you until you feel a stretch across your chest. Activate your upper back. Pull the shoulder blades down towards your pelvis. Meanwhile, squeeze your inner thighs together. Take one final inhale here. As you exhale, bring your left elbow underneath your right, wrap your forearms, wrap your wrists, and press your palms together. And then unravel that left leg and bring it back as the arms reach forward for eagle warrior. Pulling the left toes back as your arms reach toward the front. Let's take one final inhale here. Keep your arms the way they are. Exhale, step your left foot back. Lift the elbows up now, warrior, eagle warrior again. Eagle warrior one. Please notice that now your upper back is open. You're spreading your shoulder blades. So take a huge breath in to the space that this pose affords you. As you find your exhale, make sure that your belly is drawing back in, but your chest is engaging as well. Inhale, let's unravel the arms and move back to warrior one. Exhale, both hands to the earth. Step your right leg back and lower to chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Take a moment to reconnect to your breath. Make sure you are breathing, in fact. And remember, it's not a passive breath. It's not a quick breath. Once you have a handle on the breath again, lift the left leg up on your next in-breath. As you exhale, bring your knee to your forehead and forehead to knee. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bring it in. Hollow everything out. One more time, inhale. Take that little extra effort to bring forehead and knee even closer. Activate lower and inner core again. Step your left foot through. Press your right heel flat. Root down and rise up for warrior one. Breathe your rib cage up. So the inhale is naturally lifting the ribs anyway, but if we're only breathing up into the chest, then only the shoulders are going to rise, okay? So keep the shoulders down, breathe down, use your diaphragm, let the diaphragm descend. You're going to get that feeling of fullness across the belly. As you exhale, don't drop the ribs, but just let the pelvis descend as though you're plugging your sit bones into the earth. Now transfer onto your left foot, bring your right leg forward, cross right knee over left and tuck your right toes back behind your left Achilles tendon. Wide winged eagle pose, arms reach open. The tips of the fingers are reaching dynamically to the left and the right. At the same time, your arm bones are moving back in toward the shoulder socket. Activate your triceps to help you find that. And the shoulder blades are descending down the back. Keep squeezing those inner thighs together here. Take another inhale. Exhale, push the backs of your hands toward that imaginary wall, all the way back until you feel like your chest gets to stretch here. Good, and then on your next exhale, we're gonna bring right elbow under left, wrap the forearms. Extend your right leg back and pull those forearms forward. Eagle warrior three. Activate the right leg. So imagine again, just like we did in Salabhasana, you're pushing the pads of your right toes into the imaginary wall behind you, lengthening your right leg. Step your right foot back. Keep the left knee bent now. Eagle warrior one. Elbows are rising. Your fingertips are reaching toward the wall behind you. Inhale to open the shoulder blades even more. Exhale, engage your abs, engage your chest. Inhale, unravel your arms and reach up for warrior one. And exhale, both hands to the earth, left leg steps back. Move through your vinyasa. And once you're in down dog, reconnect to your breath. If you are unable to take a full breath here, meaning a full inhale and a full exhale, then please feel free to drop to your knees and take a child's pose or any other pose that allows you to reconnect to your breath. Make sure that you're not over pushing or pulling here or forcing. Your neck is neutral, your ears are lined up with the biceps. Take a final exhale here. And jump forward or walk forward at the end of that exhalation. Inhale, open up the body. The front of your body is as long as the back. Exhale, round. Rooting down. Take your arms out. Sweep the arms overhead, inhale. And exhale, hands back to heart center. Okay, we're gonna go to the side again, this time with a balancing posture. This is called balancing star pose. So we're gonna start by bringing the right arm up at a diagonal, left arm down. Again, not mirroring me unless you want to, and you can disregard what I'm saying. You're gonna bring your weight onto your left foot and just point your right toes out to the right with your knee cap pointing toward the front of the room. Okay, and then just tilt. So we're gonna hug the left inner thigh in as the right leg rises. That left inner thigh is our stability. The right outer thigh needs to engage to make sure that we're holding it up. and not just allowing the right thigh bone to hang from the right hip. And try to tilt your head so that your neck is in line with the rest of your spine. Your arms are active here. Release your right foot slowly down. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, the diagonal line in the opposite direction. Now left arm to the up and to the left, right arm down and to the right. Root down with your right foot. Point your left toes out. Keep your knee pointed toward the front. As you root down with the inner edge of your right foot, hug in to midline with your right inner thigh. Open up the chest. Engage your left outer thigh. Begin imagining that you're reaching for the left wall. Chest is wide open here. Use the strength of your arms to draw even more length out of your collarbone. And then release the left foot slowly down. Sweep the arms overhead. And we'll take our third and final B series here today, folding in. Inhale to a flat back position. Jump back or walk back, then take your exhale, chaturanga. Inhale to up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, lift the right leg up. Exhale, right knee to left elbow. Inhale, lift the right leg. Exhale, right knee comes in to touch the left elbow. And once again, lift. Exhale, touch. Then step your right foot through. Slide your left toes back and keep your left heel off the floor. Claw the floor with your left fingertips and inhale into a twisting lunge. If you'd like, you can bend your right elbow. Reach around and press the back of your right hand into the left side of your lower back. Keep pushing back with the left heel. Take a strong exhale to ring out. And then inhale to telescope the ribs forward. As though you're unfolding a telescope, extend your spine. Exhale, tuck left kidney under right to open the chest even more. Then release your right hand down to the ground. Again, we're still up on the pads of the left toes. We're going to push the left heel toward the ground. It doesn't have to touch. Straighten out your right leg. Make sure that you're not hyperextending your right knee, so just keep it soft. Check in with your right quads, make sure they're engaged, and then bring your forehead towards your right shin. Now, because we're flexing our spine, it's pretty imperative to stay safe here, that we engage our abs. Okay, so if you are finding that you cannot find your abdominals supporting you, then I'm going to have you just stay in an extended position. Okay, if you are rounding, your abs need to be engaged. Take a final exhale here. Push down through your palms and step your right foot back. Lower to chaturanga. Up dog. And down dog. Inhale, the left leg comes up. Exhale, left knee to right elbow. Inhale, left leg will come up. Exhale, left knee to right elbow. Make sure you're touching or getting somewhere close. That little extra effort at the end is almost the entire reason that we're doing this, right? We want to find a true engagement there. Now, once you have done 3, step your left foot through. Stay on your right toes, maybe slide them back a bit. Claw the floor with your right fingertips and twist open to the left. You can keep your left arm up here or bend the left elbow, reach around. Pressing the back of your left hand into the right side of your lower back. Right underneath your right ribs, right? So underneath the kidneys there. Make sure you're not sitting in your right shoulder. And check in, because it's really easy to think about the twist, not to think about it. If we think about it, we won't do this. But to just assume that the shoulder is doing the twisting, but it's not, it's your inner thighs. So start by hugging your inner thighs into midline. Dial the left sit bone back. Good, and then tuck your right kidney under your left, staying out of the right shoulder girdle to open the chest toward the sky. Awesome, bring your left hand back down. Straighten out both legs, pushing back through the right heel. Soften your left knee, but keep your quads strong. And keep both hands on the floor. Round your back with your abdominals strong, bringing your forehead to your left shin. Please make sure you're continuing to hug in with both inner thighs. We're dialing the right hip bone down toward the ground, hugging in with the left inner thigh to keep the inner edge of your left foot firmly to the floor. Final exhale. Inhale, breathe your torso forward, plant both hands and step the left leg back. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. And 5 more breaths. Take a break when you need to. Make sure your quads are strong, abs are strong, neck is engaged, right? If you're letting your neck muscles entirely relax, your head is going to hang down. But instead, I want you to engage in lengthening, almost like you're trying to bring the crown of your head to touch your thumbs. Good, and that'll keep your ears in line with your biceps. Spread your fingers out and point your thumbs toward each other so you have that point that you can reach your crown towards. Take one more exhale here. Good, and then draw your knees down to the earth. Inhale, extend your spine. This time, walk your knees out to either side and sit your hips back onto your heels for a child's pose. Reach the arms forward. Forehead can touch the earth. Take a huge inhale across your chest and into your armpits. As you exhale, round your back even more. So you guys stay in the pose. Round your back even more by continually engaging and toning the lower abdominals, okay? So you're not rounding your back by pushing with the arms. Engage your abs to draw the sit bones closer to your heels. Take one final exhale in child's pose. Feel that emptiness, and while you're empty, see if you can let the heart melt toward the earth just a little bit more. Come back up onto the hands and the knees as you inhale. And exhale, round your back, bringing your chin into the soft part of the throat. On your next inhale, let's bring the right arm up and open to the right side, tucking left ribs under right. Exhale, reach your right arm underneath your torso to the left. As far to the left as possible, bringing the right ear to the ground. Let's do that 2 more times before we hold it. Inhale, open to the right. Exhale, reach all the way to the left, touching the right side of your head down to the ground. 1 more time. Inhale, open. See if you can open your entire chest plate toward the right. Exhale, reach. Good. This time, bring the side of your head to the ground and reach your fingers even further to the left. Take your left arm up. And before we go further, make sure that you don't feel like your pelvis is sinking down. Okay, so pull the weight of the pelvis back and up. And then just swivel the left arm through the shoulder to bring your arm over your ear. So your left bicep is lining up with your left ear, and you're clawing the floor with your fingertips to feel that length. Bend the left elbow slightly and tuck your right ribs underneath your left. Pull the bony part of the elbow up toward the sky. Feel this as a wringing out of your upper back. Wring out your upper back, mobilize your upper thoracic spine. Take a final exhale. Good, and then slide your left hand back alongside your torso, slide your left arm out from underneath you. Inhale, extend the spine again. Exhale, round. Chin toward the soft part of the throat there, tuck the tailbone. Inhale, lift your left arm up and extend the spine as you open. Good, exhale, left arm underneath you to the right. Reach as far to the right as possible and touch the ear to the ground. Inhale, open. Right ribs tuck under left. Exhale, reach even further to the right bringing the side of your head to the floor. Just one more inhale, open. See if you can open even more here. So again, those little extra efforts at the end mean everything. And reach. Reach even further to the right. Pull the weight of the pelvis up and back. Bring your right arm up. Make sure the pelvis continues to traction back. Swivel your right arm through the shoulder to bring the pads of your fingers to the earth, over your head. Claw the floor with your fingertips. Feel the stretch here on the right arm, the right armpit, and the right side of your chest. Then exhale, tuck left ribs under right even more. You can even turn your head so that your gaze is up at the ceiling. Just make sure that that in no way compresses your spine, your cervical spine. Okay, you've got to keep pulling the rest of the body weight up and back, away from the neck. Take a strong exhale here. Rotating your right armpit toward the ceiling. Again, feel that feeling of strength in your upper back to mobilize your upper spine. And then release your right hand down alongside your torso. Slide your left arm out from underneath you. Inhale to an extended spine. Exhale to round your back. Good. Inhale, extend the spine again. This time, walk the arms forward. Your hands are going to come to the very front of your mat or even off of the mat. Melt your heart toward the ground and keep the pelvis up this time for puppy pose. Okay, so the sit bones aren't tilting toward the ceiling. The sit bones are pulling back, but the pelvis is still rising. Okay, so notice the difference between pinching up your back by tilting the sit bones up toward the sky versus tractioning out your lower back when you pull the sit bones toward the wall behind you. Feel the difference. Please stay in that space of traction rather than pinching. As the pelvis moves back, allow the rib cage to draw down and forward, melting your heart into the earth again and feeling that great stretch across the chest and the armpits. And of course, your shoulders should be feeling this as well. Now, because this is an extension, your abs are stretching, please take an inhale into the front of the body to promote more stretching, to promote more openness. Strong, long exhale to hug your spine with your spinal muscles. Really engage your back, especially your upper back here. Good, now slowly rise, come back up onto the hands and the knees. And as you exhale, cross your shins this time. Move your torso, your body really into the center of your mat, and then come to a seated position, uncrossing the legs in front of you. Both feet are flat to the floor. Start with your feet, your hands back, and your fingers pointing toward the back of your mat. Bend your elbows here. Take the bony parts of the elbows and bend them quite a bit, not just a little. So take the bony parts of the elbows back, and then let the heart rise. Bring the chin up. Don't let the head drop back. The chin juts up. Elbows hug in. If that's enough for you, stay there. If you want to go further, you're going to lift the hips. Straighten out your arms, but just make sure you're not locking the elbows. And feel an even greater stretch across the fronts of the shoulders and across the chest. Exhale, release the hips down, but as you do, bend the elbows so that the chest never caves in and the shoulders never collapse. Great job. Pick up your feet. Extend your legs up toward the sky, toward the top of the wall in front of you, and then take your arms from back behind you. Make sure your abs are engaged before you do that, and reach your fingers toward the front of the room. Now, if that's too much, you can take your hands back behind your thighs and hold on. Believe me, you'll still feel it. And if it's not enough, take the levers of your arms, move them away from that fulcrum point so that the center of your body is supporting more weight. One final inhale here. Exhale, bring your knees in, balance on your sit bones for a moment, and place the soles back down to the floor. Take your hands back behind you again. This time pointing your fingers toward either side of the mat. And your fingers can even hang off of the mat a little bit here. Again, step one is to bend the elbows a lot. Let the elbows flare out to either side of the room for a moment, but then isometrically hug in. So you activate your upper back tremendously. Okay, elbows bend and flare out, isometrically hug inner elbows toward each other. Isolate and work into your upper back even more. Your chin is jutting up. Again, if that's enough, stay right there. Make sure that, by the way, you're not overarching your back here. So sit bones push down into the ground. If you want to go further, lift the hips. Your elbows will straighten out, but don't lock them. So keep them slightly bent here. Use your hamstrings to push the thigh bones up toward the sky and release your hips back down, but keep the chest open. Bend your elbows as the hips touch down. Good, bring your feet up off of the floor, engage your core. Bring your arms up and reach forward. Take an inhale and extend the legs forward. Engage your abs first, so plug in. Exhale the knees back in. Inhale, extend the legs forward. Lean back, keep the chest open, and bring it back in on your exhale. Just one more, inhale, extend, and exhale, bring it in. Balance on the sit bones for a moment, place the soles of your feet down. And last time, we're gonna bring the hands to the ground, point your fingers towards your glutes. Step one, elbows bending. So you're taking the front of the shoulders that are probably a little caved in, if not a lot, and you're pulling them back with the strength of your upper back. Broaden across the chest. Feel like you just pulled both sides of your collarbone away from the soft part of your throat. Okay, stay here, or one more time up into reverse tabletop. Elbows stay soft, but the arms straighten. Crown of your head is reaching toward the wall behind you. Legs are strong, engage your glutes, your hamstrings, and root down through both feet. Now release your hips slowly, but bend the elbows as you do, so we don't sink into the shoulders. And we get to one more time, feel that amazing stretch across the chest and a pretty obvious engagement of the upper back and your triceps. Balance on those sit bones again. Reach the arms forward. This time we're going to exhale the legs forward. And then bring the heels down to the ground. Bring the legs up off of the ground and slowly back down. Lift them up and bring them down. Up and down. Just one more. Lift. Yes, you should feel this in your back, but not as a pinching in the spine. Just using your spinal muscles there. Now bring the heels all the way down. Sweep your arms overhead and walk your sit bones back a bit. Exhale over your legs. Paschimottanasana. Hold here, breathe here. Again, your spine is flexed. Your abs need to be strong. Stay here for about 3 more breaths. Soften your face, your jaw, your eyes, your forehead. Work your abs, your quads, your shins. Even your feet are working here, right? Activate your feet by spreading out your toes. At the end of your next exhale, use the strength of your core to bring your ribs closer to your thighs. Pull the crown of your head closer to the big toes, then reach past your toes and rise up slowly. Inhale as the arms start to reach toward the heavens. Swivel your arms all the way through your shoulders. And as your arms point toward as your fingers point toward your toes, roll your spine all the way down onto your mat as slowly as you can. Once the head touches the ground, take an inhale and reach the arms overhead. Pulling your fingers toward the wall behind your head and drawing the legs toward the wall in front. Really dynamically reach into equal and opposite directions here and find your inhale. And as you exhale, sweep the arms out to either side of the room. Bring your knees in towards your chest and just grab your shins and rock side to side. Now the knees are really moving more toward the armpits than toward the chest for a lot of reasons, but mostly because we're still pretty aerobic, right? We're still needing to breathe and take some deep active breaths. So we don't want to compress the lungs at all by pressing the thigh bones into the ribs. Now, after rocking side to side a few more times, we're going to take an exhale and draw both knees over to the left. You're going to stack your right knee over your left. Take your right arm and reach it to the right. And for right now, let's turn the I knew that was going to happen. There's gecko poo, and I just put my hand in it. Okay. Don't know where it went. That was just a gecko poo little commercial. So your right hand is going to come down, and you're clawing the floor with your right fingertips. But then you're going to turn your head so that your chin is pointing toward the left shoulder. Okay. Now, bring your right arm up and reach it as far to the right as possible. So you start to feel this as an elongation of the upper trap, even into the side of your neck. And I mean, really reach dynamically with this right arm. Now turn the palm up. Pull the fingers even more to the right. If that's enough of a stretch for you, it's going to start to feel like you're now stretching right where your pecs are meeting your shoulder. Stay right there. If you want to go a little further, slowly begin to bring your arm, keep reaching it out, right? But also now bring it up. Keep it really active. Do a little kind of a clawing with your fingertips there. And then when you find a place where you can feel the stretch, then we're going to take a strong exhale and try to bring the right shoulder blade to the ground. So again, we're mobilizing our upper back here. Take your left hand, claw the floor with your left fingertips so the palm is nowhere near the floor. Push down to help you get your right shoulder blade onto the floor. Reach your right arm even more to the right. And again, maybe down a little lower or up a little higher, depending on where you feel the most stretch, the most release of tension across the right side of your chest and into the right shoulder. Right shoulder blade down to the ground. Now bring the legs up, hands to your shins, rock side to side again. And now to bring both knees over to the right side. And you can start by just pressing your right forearm onto the left outer thigh. Start with your left palm down. Walk your left fingertips as far to the left as you can. And then turn your chin so that your chin faces the right shoulder. And already you should feel a stretch from your left ear to your left shoulder. Now pick up your hand. Do that kind of clawing mechanism, but we're not touching the floor now. Pick up the left hand, reach it as far to the left as possible. Start to feel the stretch there across the shoulder. This is a really nice, beautiful way to work the stretch where there's no weight bearing whatsoever. Now, if you want to, turn your palm face up, reach even more to the left, increasing the stretch on the pecs, and start to maybe bring your left fingertips more toward, to overhead a bit more to increase the stretch. Once you've found the stretch there, press the left shoulder blade down into the floor. And at that point, you may want to bring your right fingertips onto the ground. Push down with the right fingertips to help you get the left shoulder blade on the ground. Turn your head more to the right. Bring your chin closer to the right shoulder. Feel this move all the way up into the back of your neck, right underneath the back of your brain. And breathe into this stretch. But again, play with where you're placing that left arm, but keep reaching it dynamically to the left and maybe up a bit as well. And then release. Bring both knees back in, roll onto your back and rock side to side. After rocking side to side a few times, extend both legs up toward the ceiling here. Viparita Karani. If you have a block, you could put a block underneath the pelvis. If you'd like to go into a shoulder stand or a plow or a half shoulder stand, half plow, please feel free. If an inversion doesn't sound good to you at this point, please take any other pose of choice. Any pose that you know is going to finish off your practice for you. Once you have established that posture, please breathe. Usually at this point in our practice, we find that breathing is almost the most challenging part. And it is at this point in our practice that the mind will start to wander as well. So use that deep Ujjayi breath, that active inhale and active exhale, to keep your mind focused and present. Make sure you feel the breath while it's happening. Once you've taken about 3 more breaths in your inversion or whatever pose you've chosen as your finishing posture, please roll out of that pose. Take any last movement of choice. Maybe we rock side to side again. Maybe we rotate through the joints. Maybe we just shake the limbs out, lift the hips and the shoulders a few times, and then lay yourself down into Shavasana. Draw the crown of your head toward the wall behind you. Draw the legs toward in the opposite direction. Again, feeling that you just are taking a little more traction before you allow the heaviness of your bones and your muscles, your connective tissue, your internal organs to release and give in to the pull of gravity. And for these final few moments, please enjoy. After the hard work that you've taken, enjoy the ability to relax, which is, we think of relaxing as being easy, but for most of us, it's harder than doing the workout. I'm going to leave you with the sound of the ocean and the view of the ocean for a few more moments. Thank you so much for being with me today. I think Todd should be back next week. Thanks for joining me. Take care. Namaste.